If I were infected with rabies right now, this bowl of water wouldn't just scare me. It would literally torture me like mad, bad shit crazy. There are thousands of viruses on Earth, from smallpox to rabies to HIV, chickenpox, varicella, zoster, so many of them. But out of all those thousands of viruses, there's only one, and that virus that's relevant in this case is rabies, as it can cause a 100% fatality rate in any and all of its subjects. There is no surviving it once contacted, so please do take care of your pets and yourself too. The virus usually starts from a bite, usually from a bat or a dog, but it could really be from a cat, any infected animal really. But once it starts, the scary part is you really won't know until like the symptoms actually start. You might get normal hazy prodromal symptoms like your fever, you get a bit of cough, a bit of sore throat. You feel like, oh, maybe it's the flu, the strep, simple things. But the scary part is after that symptoms start, it is 100% clinically untreatable. Now, it has a thing called retrograde external transport. What it means essentially is that instead of entering your blood directly, the virus is so smart that it knows that if it enters your bloodstream directly, your immune system would quickly pick it up. So instead, it binds onto a particular nerve and begins to climb the nerve up, particularly targeting your brain. During the ascent, the virus usually moves from wherever the infection was and slowly creeping towards the brain. And for this little time of incubation where it begins to move, you may feel nothing. Practically, you wouldn't even know you were infected. You would not even know. That's why it's very dangerous. And this period can be as little as days, to months, to weeks, to years. Usually the virus moves at a rate of about 2 to 1 centimeter per day. So depending on where, maybe if you got very scratched at your foot compared to your arm, it might take more time, but eventually it will get there. Now, once it gets there to your brain, what is it what you can find? Well, once it gets to your brain, obviously you first get your fever, headache, flu-like symptoms. I said the flu before. And the best initial sign to actually say you actually may have this virus is your paresthesia. Paresthesia is a feeling of numbness around your extremities. You might feel your fingers getting twinkly and numbish, or your toes, or the extreme sides of your abdomen feeling like, oh, I just cannot feel myself too much. It feels weird. It feels like, I don't know, airy. I've never really felt numb, except when a good experience would be like sitting on the toilet seat for too long and your legs feeling like you cannot move them so much, you cannot feel them so much. That is a feeling of paresthesia. Usually, after the infection in your brain, your point of contact with the infection starts itchy, starts burning up, starts tingling, and usually this is because your sensory nerves are being lit up by the virus. And it's unfortunate to say, but once this really happens, it's practically sure for most people that you have less than a week to live. 7 days, clocks counting, clocks ticking, and from there you see your madness, hallucinations, hydrophobia, and of course, eventually death. Its most famous symptom, hydrophobia, or fear of water. Now, this is not an actual mental thing, rather it's a physical thing. The virus attacks the part of your brain responsible for controlling swallowing, thus that whenever you try to swallow, the muscles of your throat begin to spasm violently, and it feels like you're drowning. It's actually a very, very painful process, such that you would not actually want to drink water at all. You may be dying of thirst, but you will not touch that water bottle. You'd be scared. Even the mere sight of water in some extreme cases may cause such muscle spasms. Eventually, the virus ends up ravaging your limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for control of emotions. So the patients become hyperactive, aggressive, hallucinative, and all those things that you see in furious rabies that you typically see. A good movie to see this would be watching the movie Primates. It's essentially about a monkey that gets infected by rabies. If you've watched the movie Nope by Jordan Peele, there's a scene where we see the monkey killed, all the people because of rabies. But yeah, it really tells you about how much similarity primates in general have with humans and apes, and once the virus infects you, there is practically no going back. Now, why can't we cure it? Well, it's incurable because the virus actually hides behind the BBB, or the blood-brain barrier, which is like both a physical and a chemical barrier that differentiates the brain and its context from the rest part of the body. So our immune system generally has cells that are very potent, yes, very strong, yes, but those cells generally act in general circulation, like from the head downwards. They don't act in the brain, in the head. No, they do not. The head does have its own cells to do stuff there, but they are quite inadequate for the killing of the virus. So the virus is smart in that it doesn't just hide from the blood early, it also hides throughout its entire stage of development, throughout its entire stage of progression. All through its ascent, all through its progression, and this prevents it from being killed, attacked, even by antiretroviral drugs that we use, because most of them cannot even cross the blood barrier because they're not very lipophilic. Lipophilicity, or loving fats, is what makes most drugs very potent. Now, it is hard to cure effectively because, well, except you're going to put a drug directly into the brain, most people will not even come up early enough for this whole thing to be addressed. And by the time they even present, it's already far gone, far worse, and there's nothing we can do. I would say there have been breakthroughs, stuff people have been doing to try to help, but only one person in history, one person in the whole of medical history has been able to survive this. And I'm never going to mention the person's name because I don't think I even know it, but I've only been told just one person. And people have tried to recreate whatever was done for this person, but it has never worked. So I would advise you, please avoid cat scratches, avoid dog bites. Just keep your pets clean, keep them safe, keep them vaccinated. Just generally be healthy for your own sake, all right, and for my sake too, because I want my subscribers to be all right. But hey, today's Valentine's Day. I'm recording this on Valentine's Day, very stupid, but I hope you and your loved ones and whoever you're with, because I'm not with anyone. If you check my previous video, you know that. I hope you guys have fun and live your lives and be all right, be happy. Toodles.